Who the math? Who the math? Who the math? Who the math?
Plus, sign, multiply, subtract, and divide. Get math in your mind, then you'll see your dollars rise. Teachers, have your kids play video games, cause it helps to get the math facts into the brain. Simple and plain, we educate with minimal strain. Have fun, everybody now, isn't it great? Try some long division today, we just give it away. No time limits, you can...
All right, and we are back with the AP Stats video podcast series. I am, of course, Mr. Lewis, and next to me is the lovely Mr. Miller.
Thank you. I am.
Today we're talking about regular box plots.
Cool. As opposed to modified box plots. Those are coming tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I don't want to spoil it. All right. There's a sequel to this. You want to make sure you catch the sequel.
All right, so what are box plots and what do they tell us? Mr. Miller, you want to start?
Sure. This is our goal. So we want to first start off with what we mean to draw and what do box plots show us. So here we have two box plots, one for females and one for males. And what's being graphed is the cost of haircuts in dollars. This is called a parallel box plot. We'll be drawing just one at a time today, but usually we want to draw two or three to compare different groups. And there's a few things you can see clearly in a box plot. The first thing would be the median. The middle bar, so those are located there, that's the median of the data. So we have the median price for the women. It's about in the 30s.
Yeah, say 30.
The median price for the guys, a little bit under $20 for a guy's haircut. So we can compare the medians of the graph. So half the females were below 35 or so, and half were above. Remember, the median is the middle value. It also tells us how they're stretched out, the spread. We see for the females, their graph is really spread out to the right. It's skewed to the right. Okay, so the graph also breaks up the data into quarters. The lower 25% of females, can you draw an arrow to that?
Yep.
Are right there. The next 25% of females are in the next part of the graph. The third quarter of females are in there. And then the most expensive 25% of the females are in there. Mr. Lewis, I have 3 daughters, so this is a graph of my life. So
yeah,
I want to find where this female here got their haircut for $0. So that's where I want to send my family.
Well, it's like probably like Cousin It from the Addams Family or something.
It's a good look.
or was it Thing? I don't remember. I'm not a
So
big Addams
look at the
fan.
Maxwell guy haircut, man. You can go all out and spend about $38. Maybe this dude did.
Well, we're not all David Beckham.
Anyway, this lady, it looks like every single hair was individually treated. But anyway, so graphs are for comparing data, and they show the center, how spread out they are. We can see the shape. The females are more skewed. The males are more symmetrical. And we'll worry about outliers when we do modified box plots. So let's see how to draw this.
All right.
I'm excited. All right.
So here we have. Oh, sorry. Here we have the
Mr.
points scored of winning NFL teams. So
And
you
who
can
cares
see
about the losing ones?
exactly. So you can see we started at this lowest point, went to the highest point, and we were nice enough to give them to you right here in order. That will not always be the case. Okay. So the lowest scoring team, that's our min. So that was 16. All right. Let's skip Q1 for the moment. Let's just go with the max because that's easiest.
Two easiest numbers to find. So this is the
56.
5-number summary. So these 5 numbers, well, we need to draw the graph.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So now we want to set. Third easiest number to find is the median. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 numbers. Okay, so when we have an even number, got to remember we find the middle median by the average of the middle 2 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right
Yeah.
in
So
this area.
let's draw a line. Yeah, right between those. So the median line is right between those 2 numbers.
All right, so 27 and 30 would be 57. So looks like 28 and a half.
Yeah, 28.5. Okay, so half the values are below that, half are above.
Okay, so now we have Q1 and Q3. Okay, those stand for quartile, which we'll get to later on. All right, but what we find these is the median between the median and the min. That would be Q1. That's our 25% mode. So again, we have 8 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So 4 and
So
4.
be right in the middle between 4 and 4.
22.5.
22.5. I like that one.
So it's the median of the lower half. If this looks familiar, some of us did this like the first day. So we finally got to it. We did this earlier on. I don't know if everyone did it.
Well, I mean, some people were ahead of others.
Okay. Yeah. Most of the time.
All right, and here's our Q3 median, right between 12 and 13. So average of 34 and 37. So 35.5, that would be. Okay.
All right. So really constructing a regular box plot from this is going to be easy. So we're going to draw vertical lines where these numbers would lie on the number line. And then we'll complete the box plot. So
There's the min.
how about above? So let's draw it above the number line. There we
You
go.
can do that.
Okay, good. I'm so picky about my box plots.
You are. All right, and then we'll draw our line all the way to 56. Bam, just like that. Okay. Quarter 1 was 22.5. So kind of a bigger vertical line there. Our median, 28.5. Should be right around here. Okay. And our Q3, 35.5, right here.
Yeah, so a vertical line at all the 5 numbers, and then we connect the middle 3 to form the box. Sometimes it's called a box and whisker graph. So the middle half of the data is inside the box. It goes from the Q1 to Q3. That's the middle half, or the middle 50% of the data. This tail on the left, whisker on the left, is the lower 25%. And the whisker on the right is the upper 25%. Okay.
Yep.
Would you say this is symmetrical or skewed, Mr. Lewis?
Let's say this is a little bit skewed.
And what are we going to use for a typical value
For a typical value.
for the center?
Well, I would probably use typical value here would be right around 28, 29.
Yeah, the median.
Yeah.
So we finally have a statistic to use to represent a typical value. So the median is one of the statistics we'll use. Later we'll use the mean. Okay,
Okay.
let's do another example. So
All
there's a
right.
lot to this. We've
I
already
love it.
learned a lot.
All right, sticking with our NFL theme, we're doing passing completions for quarterbacks. So obviously, if it's a Bears quarterback, it's not that many. Actually, we're doing okay now, I guess. All right.
I forget which number was Jay Cutler.
Min,
He's just looking. He wants to be in this list.
we'll do 41. All right,
Right.
there's our low number, high number again, 83. Those are the easy ones. Median, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So it means that it separates into 7, 7, and 1 in the middle.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that should be right here.
Okay. So
65. Unless I made a boo-boo.
that looks in
Oh,
the middle.
man, I didn't. That's amazing.
And so there are 7 numbers in the lower half below
Yep.
the median.
So here should be our Q1, 52.
And there's 7 numbers above the median.
And here's our Q3, 75.
Okay. So now we just draw those lines.
Okay,
and
let's
see
do it.
what we get.
All right, so there's 41. Here's 83. 75. 65. 52.
It's already looking kind of symmetrical.
It is.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. So remember, we can't always clearly describe it.
It's clear, it's
When
clear,
it's clear, we call it. When it's not clear, then we don't have much to say. But here it's clearly symmetrical. It's pretty symmetrical.
Yeah. And our typical value again, right here around 65.
Yeah, the median. So the median is a measure of center. So remember, center is a typical value. So we could say the typical quarterback in this group had 65 completions.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Okay. It's that time.
Yay! Applause on your own.
All right. So your guys' journal assignment for this time is to follow the data of Chicago Cubs infielders and outfielders. All right. So we're switching sports here.
These are the
Okay.
weights. Yeah.
The weights. So we can see that the lightest guy was 170, heaviest guy right here in the 240.
They have a pretty big
Okay.
infielder or outfielder. I don't